Hello everyone, welcome to the latest edition of Community Conversations. My guest today is Dale Marsden, Superintendent of the San Bernardino City Unified School District. The San Bernardino City Unified School District serves about 50,000 students and is the 8th largest school district in California. Welcome, Dale. I'm glad you could be with us today.
Thank you, Tomás. It's my pleasure to be here.
You and I arrived to San Bernardino area around the same time. Tell us about your journey so far in leading the county's largest school district.
It's been a pretty incredible journey coming from a relatively smaller district of 12,000 students to 50,000 students, serving infants and toddlers to adults. We're really excited about or taking on a focus of building career pathways within each of our high schools so our young people emerge ready for both college and career. So we've had a lot of headway. Today we have about 12 career pathways, several of which didn't exist previously, so we're very excited about the outcomes so far. Very excited about our partnership, building the camaraderie with you, Tomás, over the last couple of years, and our outcomes of having our teams meet together has been an incredible, I think, enriched asset to the community as we're serving together.
Thank you. One of the most pressing issues facing San Bernardino and Riverside counties is the college going rate and college readiness. How is San Bernardino City Unified School District tackling these issues?
So as I said, one of the main elements is preparing our students for both college and career. And so the career pathways work is extremely instrumental to that, and Cal State has played an integral role to that. One example is in our teaching academy. We literally have created, in our partnership with Cal State, a round-trip ticket for our kids. So our students who are interested in becoming teachers, for example, are going through this instructional program, getting the skills that are necessary, then coming to Cal State San Bernardino. And today we have teachers that are in our classrooms that literally have been students in our district coming back and serving the community. And so that's one element, as a career pathways element. The second is really this work on getting our kids college ready and meeting those A to G requirements. And so you've often said we have to have our kids ready with those basic elements, but as well, not just 3 years of math, but 4 years of math, so making sure that they're solid and well prepared coming out of high school. And so we've actually integrated an alternative called our APEX program, where students who maybe don't meet the credit requirements through the typical studies, they have a credit recovery program that is now also A to G meets A to G requirements. So we're excited about that element. And then most recently, as you know, together in our work, we achieved the Gear Up grant, which has helped us to have a $14.5 million, the largest grant in the state, to help us prepare our kids following that cohort of 7th graders all the way through their experience, emerging from high school ready for college, as well as helping them and their parents come and see what does it take to be successful for both college and career. So very excited about these outcomes most recently.
We're really excited about the partnership between the City of San Bernardino Unified School District and CSUSB. Our faculty and staff are working hard together to ensure that all of our students are college ready. CSUSB has now signed 19 MOUs with school districts, providing guaranteed admission for those graduates that are college ready. But success here requires more than signatures on a document. It really marks a long-term partnership. Let's talk a few moments about how the university and San Bernardino City are working together to help students succeed.
You bet. And Tomás, I think it really started with your work when you prepared the report on college readiness for ASCU. And in that report, talking about student readiness for college, and you get it, and we've worked and talked a lot about this, that it begins 0 to 36 months. It begins an early preparation, pre-K, all the way through the system. That's why this Gear Up grant is so valuable, and that's why this San Bernardino promise, the promise that we've signed in agreement with the university, is so powerful for our students. And it means a great deal. I'm currently on a road show a trip to every one of our high schools where I lead an assembly and we gather all the kids, 9th through 12th grade, and we talk with them about how we're making hope happen together and how this university cares so deeply for the city it serves. You talk often about this university being an anchor institution for the community, and our kids now know that this promises their reality. And so they hear from me, twice former alumni, they hear from me that now college is within their reach. If they can meet the minimum requirements that are necessary, they can secure their future to come to one of the best universities in the state of California.
That's great. That's really wonderful.
Very excited about it.
Yes, it is indeed. So it's safe to say that the long-term economic health of the Inland Empire is dependent on the actions and partnerships we forge in the coming years. From the perspective of a K-12 leader, as well as an alumnus of CSUSB, what are some of the things we need to pay attention to?
You know, I think the biggest, there's two pieces that are the largest in my mind, and they're both coming out of Gallup's work. One, Jim Clifton wrote his book, The Coming Jobs War, and you and I have talked a lot about this. So we know what every person on the planet wants is a good job to provide for their family. Our young people are no different. When they come from homes 95% of poverty, 54.3% are on some sort of public assistance. When you talk to the young people, they don't want that to be their future reality. They want a high-paying job. And so how do we weave students' experiences and learning in the K-12 system so that they're experiencing what does it take to be successful in their future for both college and career? And then secondly, as we've worked with Gallup, we now are paying close attention to three very specific measures: hope, engagement, and well-being. All three of these are now quantified by Gallup. We surveyed 22,000 of our students this last year, 5th through 12th grade, on all three areas. And together now we'll be able to watch as we do this work to move those dials, increasing student hopefulness, because it's a better predictor, Gallup has told us, for academic success than test scores and so forth. And then engagement. If we move that engagement dial, they've quantified that to 6 points in reading achievement and math points, 8 points in math achievement by just moving it by 1%. And then, of course, well-being. If our students aren't well, they're not going to do well in school. And so these elements are very critical, I think, for the future of San Bernardino City and the success of this work together.
The entire university is so proud of your work. You are a great alumnus. Look into the crystal ball and tell me what you envision 5 years from now.
What I envision 5 years from now is that our young people emerge from our K-12 system with not just a high school diploma, but with advanced certification, credentials, college credits, as they leave the system, more than just college ready, but really ready for college and career. I see more young people heading toward college, recognizing that, often when I'm asked, should all kids go to college? And I always answer back, when in doubt, do what rich people's kids' parents do. They all go to college. So we want every one of our young people to go to college. We want to create a college-going culture within the city of San Bernardino. And I believe that'll be our future reality because of this partnership.
I certainly agree with you. I mean, I think it's exciting. We're really creating hope, and we're creating engagement. And we're expecting that all of our students will be ready, not just college ready, but ready for their futures. Thanks for joining us today, Dale. I know our audience learned a lot about the San Bernardino City Unified School District and all that it is doing to help prepare our children to become our future leaders. Your great work is another great example of how CSUSB graduates are making a difference in the community.
Thank you, Tomás.
And thank you for joining us. I hope to see you soon at our next community conversations.